Hello everyone, my name is Sean Sinclair and I'm Steve's son. I'm currently living in Ithaca, New York, starting graduate school and unfortunately am unable to come in person. But I'm glad to say this and thank you for coming to honor my father and his 43-year service working for the state of Vermont. I felt a little bit of pressure to make this a little bit funny or roast him like I enjoy doing every time that we're together. But I know based on the close relationship that he has with the rest of his colleagues at Forest Parks and Recreation, that everybody else will do that portion for me. I could talk about some of the many facets of my father, poking fun about how talking on the phone with him I would often, instead of keeping the phone by my ear, just put it down on the table, still being able to hear him perfectly fine. I'm sorry to everybody who has to sit next to him in the office. Or I could talk about how he incessantly tries to confuse nouns. But instead, I'll speak a little bit about one of the virtues that he's passed on to Elizabeth and I, his sense of routines and the compassion that comes from that. Since my sister started university in 2008, Dad started writing emails to us at 7:30 exactly, titled Good Morning Elizabeth. These emails were modeled after my grandfather, who wrote weekly handwritten letters to each of his children after they left for university. When I eventually left for school in 2012, the title changed to Good Morning Elizabeth and Sean. These emails were filled with a daily weather forecast, inspirational quotes, and musings on what he had to do for work on that day. As a mathematician, to illustrate this idea, I'll give you a couple of statistics. These emails, as of today, have continued for over 9 years. He has a 93% accuracy in his daily emails on work days, meaning that over the 9-year period, he's missed only 100 days, which is roughly 10 days a year. His most common ending to these emails is do good work. These emails not only served as a way for us to stay connected while miles apart, but showed the compassion that he holds for his family. Every weekend after eating lunch at 12:30 in the afternoon, exactly, my sister, father, and I would take the dogs for a walk on one of the many routes across East Montpelier. Dad took this as an opportunity to teach his two not very interested in trees children about trees. Walking through the dense forest, he would point to a random tree, examine its leaf structure and texture, bark color, or other random features about the plants as a way of educating Elizabeth and I. His smile would widen walking through, explaining the different nuances between the types of trees, like fir trees. While at this point the only tree that I can correctly identify would be white birch, he showed his compassion that he has for his work, which I also strive daily in my own work as well. I am proud to be his son and he is a great father. Congratulations on your retirement and do good work. Love you, Sean.
Hi, Dad. Sean and I are both very disappointed we could not be there to celebrate this momentous occasion with you. My deepest gratitude to Danny for organizing the party and to all the people that came to celebrate and send you off in your next chapter. Seeing how, after all, this is a party with a bunch of tree lovers, I thought my remarks are best given in the context of trees. All of the following are quotes from the book titled A Hidden Life of Trees by Peter Woolbin. When referring to the process of removing elder trees from national forests to make rooms for new ones, Woolbin writes, "But you don't have an established forest yet, because the young trees don't have any parents. There is no one there to slow the growth of the little ones, to protect them, or in case of emergency, to feed them sugar. Although I hope I'm established enough now that I do not need you to feed me emergency sugar, I do still rely on your protection, wisdom, and guidance. I've spent the entirety of my life looking up to you as my role model, confidant, and true friend. I am so grateful for our ever-strengthening relationship in my adulthood." Chapter 31 in the book starts with the following. In the forest, things don't always work out according to plan. Even though this ecosystem is immensely stable, often humming along for many centuries with no drastic changes, a natural catastrophe could still throw everything into turmoil. Which leads me to a little bit of advice and wisdom of my own. In life, just like the forest, things don't always work out according to plan. It is important not to fixate and worry on the things outside of our control. Or as Meme would say, don't sweat the small stuff. When we do experience times of turmoil, lean on your family and friends for support. Sean and I are both always only a phone call away. In the chapter titled Trees Aging Gracefully, Peter writes about wounds in the tree and the defense mechanisms used by the tree to survive, such as new growth. Dad, I want you to think about this quote as it relates to your work and time at FPR. For a while, the new growth helps to shore up the ruined structures against powerful storms. Then, one day, it's all over. The trunk snaps and the tree's life is at its end. Finally, you can almost hear the young trees in waiting a sigh. In the years to come, they will quickly push their way up past the crumbling remains. But service in the forest doesn't end when life ends. The rotting cadaver continues to play an important role in the ecosystem for hundreds of years. Dad, you have dedicated your heart and soul to your work at FPR, and we are all grateful to you for your dedication and determination to promoting Vermont's healthy forests. Although it is now time to pass on the torch, remember that your service to the forest does not end when you leave. Your hard work, dedication, and mentorship to those around you will continue to play an important role in the department and the state of Vermont's forests. Most importantly, don't let your loss of the official title and role be a loss of what defines you, because your accomplishments, and most importantly, the relationships you built, will stay with you forever. I am so proud to call you my dad. Congratulations.